Hi, I'm going to do a little series of surviving puppy. We got a Labradoodle when he was about almost 12 weeks old, and it's a challenge. I thought I wanted a rescue dog because puppies are a lot of work, and if you think that you don't want a lot of work, get a rescue dog or a dog at a shelter because puppies are a lot of work. But I don't regret it. Finnegan's being a sweetheart. But there are challenges whenever you have a puppy that people don't want to deal with, and they don't want to tell you what really works. They want to tell you to put him in his crate, but he has to love his crate. And then they'll tell you that if you put him in his crate as punishment, he's going to hate his crate. If any of you have raised a teenager, you know that you've sent them to their room when they were 9, 10 years old, and when they were 15, you had a hard time getting them out of it. Just because he's put there for a timeout does not mean he's going to hate his crate and hate you and feel like he's in prison. But we'll handle crates on a different day. Today I want to handle, just talk about Kongs and food toys just a little bit. I don't have a lot of time. I hear my husband come up the driveway. This is a baby Kong, well, maybe a medium Kong. I have a larger one also, and it can be very expensive if you buy the pet store treats to fill them with. So what you can do to save some money is, a lot of people are using Cheez Whiz, and you may be concerned about the nutritional content of Cheez Whiz. If so, you can buy the Puppy Kong spray, but don't use a ton of it. Use just a little bit in the tip here to seal up that tip, and that will keep your other goodies from leaking out. You can fill it with a variety of things. For example, I got this fat-free, low-sodium beef broth. I just soak his kibbles in it until they're good and soft, fill it up with that, then put something tasty on the outside. You can use peanut butter. You can use cheap peanut butter, but this is what I had, and I live forever away from a store, so this is what he got. Or you can put a little sprinkle of cheese. It doesn't take a lot. A little pinch of this is just enough to get his idea that he really wants what's in here. Then stick it in the freezer, and what you can do with that is to keep it upright, because the first 2 times I had it stuck in between a couple bags of onions in the door, and I opened it up and it fell and shredded cheese went everywhere because it wasn't hard yet, is you can just sit it inside of a cup so that it holds it upright. Another thing that you can use in here is just a few pieces. You're not supposed to feed your dog cat food because it has high fat content. That's what I'm finding. It's high in calories. I got a bony little Labradoodle. He's got a lot of poodle in him. He can handle a few pieces of cat food. It's very fragrant, and so it really pulls him to the toy. And what you want is to have him keep busy with this, because it works his mind and it also makes him tired. So if you find that playing fetch with him isn't working for you, or you can't get outside because it's bad weather for a while, this is a great way to keep him busy. Another idea is this little toy here that I picked up at Petco, and you can stick a little cookie in this little slot right here. You can fill it up with things. It took him a while to learn how to use this, and what I put in here is I put little pieces of dog biscuits, I put some of his kibble, I put tiny little pieces of hot dog in there, and when I say tiny, I can get 50, 60 pieces of treats out of one hot dog. So you just cut it lengthwise again, and then slice it up into small pieces about 15, 16 times. You'll get a lot, but it has a lot of fragrance and it'll pull him to it. You can put a couple pieces of cat food in there. If your dog likes apple, that's another healthy thing you can put in the Kong. Mine doesn't care. He doesn't care for apples, evidently. But once you get these in there, and you're going to have to teach him how to roll it along, because he's going to roll it this way, it rolls easiest that way, and that's not going to get any treats. So you're going to have to flip it over so that the treat falls out. Another great tip is if you have meat in your freezer that it's a little freezer burnt, it's been there for a while, it does affect the texture, but it doesn't affect the safety of the meat. I took a bag, I'm used to cooking for a big crew. We had 3 kids, and they're all grown up, and so I still value shop, but my problem is I don't get to use all the product before it spoils, so it's not really a value when you're throwing it away. I had 3 pounds of chicken legs in there, chicken thighs, boneless. I threw them all in a big baking dish and just cooked them up till they were done, sliced them in tiny little pieces, froze them in baggies. I put the frozen pieces in here. He loved those. And that will keep him busy for quite a while trying to get those out. You can also squirt some stuff in here, but my dog isn't, Finnegan isn't really dedicated enough to want to lick that out of there, so it would just dry in there and then I'd have to wash it out. So those are some tips to help make him love his crate. And whenever someone tells you, put something in there that he loves and then he'll love his crate, he will get the thing he loves and bring it out into the living room. And if you have, another thing you can put in here is a little bit of honey. And mix that up with the kibble. It kind of helps it stick together. It makes it a little bit more challenging. When I use the larger Kong, I can put a lot of stuff in there. About halfway through, I can hear him whining a little bit because he's really challenged trying to get it out of there, but he doesn't want to give up. So those are just some tips for you to save you some money. Trying to think what else. You can put vegetables in there if your dog likes vegetables. You'd be surprised what they would like if they're mixed with a little bit of something else that tastes good. If you want to give them something really healthy, which I do, because the last dog that died had bone cancer, and I read that dogs that eat vegetables you can greatly lower the risk of them getting bone cancer if they eat vegetables. And evidently, as balanced as my dog food was, it wasn't balanced enough, so I'm going to give this one as many vegetables as I can get into him if he likes them and they're safe and healthy for him. So those are just some tips to help you keep sane in the puppy period, because it is a challenge. And don't feel bad if you are overwhelmed with puppy time, because it's hard, and the older you are, the harder it is. We're still working on how to stop Finnegan from playing whack-a-mole with the cat, who is 16 years old. He'll be 17 in a couple months, and the cat does not appreciate the game of whack-a-mole. So I got some tips for that too, but we'll do that in another video, so I don't keep you here all day. Thanks for tuning in, and you can survive this.